For more on the situation in the CAR, we're joined live from our Johannesburg studios by Dr Malte Brosig, an international relations expert with the University of Witswatersrand. Welcome to Africa Live. Now, there are two main sides involved in the conflict in the CAR. Is it likely that parliamentarians there will come up with a name that will satisfy both camps?
Good evening, first of all. Yeah, that's the crucial question. It's not so easy to come to a judgment from the outside, but I think the one of the problems clearly is that at the moment the anti-Balaka are having the military upper hand and therefore try also to press for a bigger political share in the process. On the other side, it's also clear that Djoturi, the now sacked president of the Central African Republic and former Seleka leader, was doing everything to get his people into the Transitional National Council. So there's really something to talk about. What's also important is the wider international scene here, and I think ECAS as well as the African community have made it clear that they want to stick to the timetable and that they are propping up their peacekeepers as well, and this might in the end actually turn the tide and force the parties to come to a conclusion here.
Now, it's a situation where you already have one side opposed to that process of appointing a new leader. Do you think it will impact the decision?
The question is if they're really opposed. I think if there is power to distribute, either side would be happy to grab it actually. But of course the anti-Balaka is not really happy with the current political process because they think they are, and they certainly are, I think, the stronger political and military force at the moment in the country, and that of course can complicate things quite a lot. But at the moment, I mean, we're only speaking about an interim presidency, and there's still more space for further negotiation when it comes, for instance, to the elections early next year. So it's just the interim presidency. That doesn't mean whoever gets this position, it doesn't completely determine the future of the country, and I think this is something to also consider, and I think there would be space for some compromise here.
Right, now, looking at the future of the country, it's been almost a week since the departure of the former leader, and we still haven't seen calm return to the CAR. What's the way forward here?
I think immediately it will be clear that whoever becomes the interim president, the situation on the ground might not necessarily change to the better very quickly. What's important at the moment is to stop the cycle of violence and let in more humanitarian aid. This can be done by propping up the numbers of peacekeeping troops on the ground. The African Union is very busy doing this with support of the United States. We have around 4,500 African Union peacekeepers on the ground. 5,000 are likely to be there pretty soon. We have the French there as well. With these numbers, you can actually try to suffocate the conflict simply through military presence. That would be one immediate step, but the further along the road, I think political process is quite important, as well as the demobilization and reconciliation. So the typical recipes the international community has used so far. Also, let me end with another footnote. So far the response by the international community has been rather slow and rather fragmented, so we have different organizations doing different things. I think it would be quite important to have a more united approach to the crisis in the Central African Republic.
All right, thanks very much for your time this evening. We're speaking there to Dr Malte Brosig, an international relations expert from the University of Witswatersrand in Johannesburg.